Hey, everybody, welcome back to the PM Doc. This week's topic is dreaming, the meanings behind your dreams. Also, what can cause nightmares? What are the most common nightmares? And with that, the risks of lack of sleep, what it could do to your mind and your body in the short term and in the long term. We might also talk about lucid dreams. I've had some before in the past. Maybe this week we might be able to figure out what they mean. We have Dryden here,
Hey, what's up?
and we also have Eddie.
Hey,
Boys, we all dream. We all have nightmares. And we all had lack of sleep. I think that's a very common thing between everybody, especially the lack of sleep.
kind of like right
Which,
now, you mean?
yeah, yeah,
Yup.
we're burning the midnight oil, but what can you do? Um, right
Sleep?
now I have, I
Oh
guess
yeah,
so, yeah.
I guess.
Um, Right now, I have a list of some of the most common dreams and what they mean open. If anybody has ever had some of these, or if any of us have ever had any of these kinds of dreams, let me know. Let us know. The list starts with evaluations like tests at school or an interview for a new job. The dream reveals an underlying fear of failure. You are going through certain stressful experiences where you are being evaluated. Deep down, you feel unprepared for the challenges of waking life. And that definitely is a dream that I've had um, with a new job, days before a new job, or even maybe just new experiences, sports teams. I remember starting off on the baseball team that me and some close friends are on where I live. And I remember, even though it's just beer league, I remember having dreams, being nervous about it.
hmm
Eddie, have you ever had any dreams like that with any of your schooling or your sports or anything in life?
So, in terms, so for that one on the list, I can't really say if there's anyone like for like evaluations or like new jobs,
Yeah.
something like that. The the closest one I could recall is I think there was a dream that I so it's excuse me. It's like a one of those cliche, like, do you remember that scene from the if you remember the opening scene from the Mighty Ducks where Gordon Bombay takes that penalty shot and he hits the post?
Yeah.
That's kind of similar to that. It was one of those weird dreams where, like, it was right before an important playoff game, right? I was taking a penalty shot. I didn't just hit the post, I missed it completely. And then, like, my team's booing me as well, which is unrealistic because your team wouldn't do that. Our home crowd is booing me, my team's booing me, and then the dream just kind of that's kind of really all I remember from it. That was right.
And
That was right before an important playoff game. If that's similar to the one you were describing on that list, you know.
well, yeah, definitely because it deals with the pressures that you're about to face. And I mean, like, especially if this was this when you were playing college hockey?
If I remember, I think this is when I was playing midget level, like U16.
Midget.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
okay. Yeah, well, even still, like it deals with like a pressured situation where there's a crowd potentially. You have your friends, you have your teammates around you, and I think it kind of might touch on like not wanting to mess up so much. You're kind of
yeah.
like that kind of pressure that we
hmm
all face when we're going into um, situations that have a lot of pressure, or just something really new, and you might feel a little bit unsure about yourself.
Yeah.
Um, the other, well, some of the other ones on this list are cheating in affairs, um,
Ooh.
famous people, running late, pregnancy in a dream, which I suppose would only deal with one part of the population, um, naked in public, being chased, teeth falling out, becoming powerful. Dryden, I believe that's something you might like a lot.
Sir, I am powerful.
There you go. Um, meeting dead people, dying, and flying.
I'd love to fly in it.
Um,
I would love to fly in a dream, just soaring through the sky, just woo! I'm up in
yeah.
the air,
Just
Randy.
being Superman.
I'm up in the air,
Just
Rand.
Um,
The
uh,
that was a Trailer Park Boys reference. If any of you guys got that, so
I got it. Don't worry. I like Trailer Park
Perfect.
Boys.
there you go.
Dryden, have you had it? Do you recall any of these types of dreams that?
I mean, I don't really dream often, to be honest, or at least remember my dreams, because like
Mhm.
I don't really sleep much, and when I do, it it's not long.
Well, I mean, that's probably. I mean, you'd be the perfect person to talk about the risks of lack of sleep. Then, I guess.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, yeah, more than likely I would be. Good old insomnia.
Yeah. You
Oh
just.
Favorite part of my
man.
life.
Mhm. I think some of these, like, if I could relate to some of them, being naked in public, it's a big fear, actually. Being naked in public points to inadequacy in your daily life. Feel like a phony. You are afraid to reveal your imperfections and shortcomings. Be aware of vulnerability and exposure. I remember having some of those dreams when I was like near some of my worst points in my life, like being very unhappy with like just my physical appearance and my
Mm.
I guess attitude in life. I remember it was the same thing as teeth falling out. Dreaming about losing your teeth can relate to losing power. You are losing the ability in your real life to bite through and assert yourself. Perhaps you are concerned about your strength and ability.
Hmm.
Certain transitions are taking place that make you wonder about your own competence. And I feel like those two kind of relate in the sense of like the inadequacies in your daily life and you're losing power. And yeah, I think for me, that it pretty much sums up a pretty significant stretch in my life where I was losing all my confidence. I was too afraid to speak up because I had no confidence.
Hmm.
Um, I guess yeah, and I think I've talked to a few people that have had the teeth falling out dream, and it has a lot to do with those types of things. Um, and it's interesting to me that those two kind of relate to the top one, which was evaluations like tests or interviews, or um, they kind of play off your insecurities a lot. It sounds like.
Yeah, I would assume so, just from the way you described them.
Yeah,
um,
Dryden.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Eddie. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I can't really say I had any sort of dream like that, especially the one with the teeth falling out or being naked in
Hmm.
public. Um, there was that one that I just described a while ago. And in terms, I mean, let's see. I think there was, again, I don't, these are like, I, I'm not saying that so I'm not good at describing what my dreams are. I never were, but I'm pretty sure, like, I didn't have nightmares when I was depressed in high school. It was weird.
Okay,
I wanted to dream, like, I dreamed positive, right? Because I mean, dreams are a way of kind of escaping from reality, right?
no,
In
Oh,
definitely.
definitely.
in a way, like there were dreams where I was in front of like my whole school and I was in a metal band and everybody loved it. I'm like, yeah, what's up? You know, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
But
Oh yeah.
in terms of like having those weird symbolic dreams, I can't remember if I ever had any, and if I did, I don't know when I would. I know I know you dream as a baby as well. Like babies have
Oh yeah.
like when we're like young kids. Oh, like later on in this podcast episode, I got to tell you about this weird dream I had. But I just know for a fact
Well,
that
hell,
I just
tell it, say it.
oh no, but
Yeah.
we didn't get into nightmares or night terrors yet. That actually falls in that category, I think.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
if there.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was just like an interesting like
It's kind of
crazy dream.
it's kind of scary. At least I think it was scary.
Okay,
But that kind of leads to my point is that when you're a kid, um, I'm just kind of starting a new topic here. But when you're a kid, you have weird dreams when you're younger, like from a toddler
definitely.
all the way to like maybe like preschool.
Mhm.
It's you have weird dreams as a kid. It might be different. I think when you're an adult, unless you're like really down on your luck, you'll start having these weird dreams. which
Oh,
uh,
I've had plenty of both, like in both kind of timelines. I guess if we're talking about like a mental health aspect, if you're like depressed or down, like I've had some of the weirdest dreams, and like, and
yeah.
that's why I was gonna say if you're just talking about weird dreams, now would be a good time to explain it.
Well, that's the
But
thing.
if you
Yeah,
have,
mine's actually more scary than it is weird. It's just kind
okay,
of, but
I'm trying to remember all my dreams as a kid, and I've only gotten like two.
there was
well, what
one.
would that be?
There was one as a. I remember this one. I was literally like I was a superhero, but I wasn't flying outside. I was literally flying around my house. I was like, yeah, I'm a fucking superhero. And then, like I was flying around the living room and like the kitchen, like, yeah, I'm flying. And then I woke up and I was like, I remember I was a kid, I was so pissed off. I'm like, oh, my powers are gone. I lost my powers. And it's like, no, the dream just ended.
Yeah, this is done. And well, that's the thing about the child's imagination is it's almost limitless because
It
it doesn't
is
know its own
limitless.
limits.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
and
Well,
plus, yeah,
a
that's
child's brain is it's under development. Like it's perfect prime brain for like anything. You can teach it any little thing. Like you give a kid like say like three little blocks on the top of a little item that glows, and you have to put the blocks in a specific order due to the glowing. Little
mhm.
kids would do it 20 times faster than anybody our age.
well,
Yeah, they'll figure it out, no problem. They're like, yeah, whatever. They're very malleable. They're very,
They're
and that's the
yeah,
thing. You throw dreams into that, and you don't give it context because, again, when you're a little kid, you like you don't know much. The context and the perspective you have, you don't really have much. So, what could be a scary dream as a kid, thinking back to it, might not be that scary. I remember one of the dreams I remember, like sorry, one of the earliest dreams that I can remember was actually a Power Rangers episode,
hmm.
which I mean, it's dating myself a little bit, but when I was a little kid growing up in the '90s, the Power Rangers again, it's one of the biggest shows at that age, and I can't remember what was exactly going on in the episode, but I think he was I think he was the White Power Ranger.
White
In my
Ranger.
dream,
Yeah.
yeah, he basically came out of smoke as a vampire and he attacked me.
Whoa.
Yeah, but
damn.
the thing was, I didn't think it was that scary because in the show, the exact same thing happened, but in the show, he wasn't a vampire and it wasn't an attack. So I don't consider it really a scary dream because in my childlike mind, I could have just perceived it as something being scary, but
Er,
really, I'm playing it back as, that's just what it was, and my brain misinterpreted it as something like of an attack.
Jay, what does so that article you have right now, what does being chased uh mean? Because there's one that I just remembered just now. It's a it's a weird one.
Uh, Being chased in a dream points to past and current trauma. You are hiding from certain emotions like anger or passion. Consider the dream symbols for what is chasing you.
Okay.
It could also relate to certain people, addictions, or debts.
So again, this is another one when I was a kid. I want to say kindergartner. I think I was a
Hmm.
kindergartner. Um, for context, so my mom would work. So both my mom and dad. So before my mom uh, uh, became a stay home, sorry, not stay home. She worked from home. She works from home now. But before
Hmm.
that, as a kindergartner, or she and my dad would both work in office spaces. So the, our neither of them would be home, so they had to drop me off at this daycare. So I would go to school and then take the bus would drop me off at the daycare, and then I would wait until my mom or my dad would pick me up.
Hmm.
I had a dream as a kid, and it was weird. So picture this. Um, this is so weird to describe, but I remember it like vividly. This is one of the weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why I remember this dream vividly instead of all the other ones. Oh, I mean, other than the fact that I was flying like an idiot through my through the house.
Yeah, man.
That
But
one's the best one.
Yeah.
well, this is a change of pace. Um, imagine like small, stumpy. Okay, so the dream was me in the daycare. It was all alone. Everything was kind of gray and just kind of dull for some reason. Like all the color was kind of sucked out of the daycare, and
Yeah.
it was just me, right? And there were these these small these really small dwarf like smaller than a dwarf, but like dwarf like uh alien looking things with like just have like just just blank expressions on their face. They had like greenish gray skin. All of them had like the small drum set that they were playing like right in front of them,
What?
and they would with each step they would play a beat on their drum like as they're walking towards me, right? Like,
Okay.
and they're walking toward like they're chasing me. And it's weird. They have this blank
Oh, that's
expression. They
weird.
have this blank expression on my face, and every time they would try and get near me, they would try and grab me, and I was always running from. There was like I think there was like three of them in the kinder in the daycare center, and I'm just like I woke up and I was like I it was I was I just woke up. I'm like what is going on? This is
Well,
because
that's it would be interesting to try to like how old were you when this happened?
it's kindergarten. I think I want to say 5,
I'd say
6, 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say then the interesting thing would be like if the meaning behind it has anything to do with what is said in this article or whatever,
So
or is it just the imagination of a young kindergartner?
I think if I remember correctly, I did not like being in the daycare. I just wanted to go home, and also
Oh,
I
okay.
was also pretty scared of. I didn't like being yelled at by my teachers or
You have very aggressive teachers.
yeah. Oh,
Gee, well,
Damn.
you would not believe what I had to put up with
and
as a little kid.
and that's what I mean. So like that's the interesting thing about that. Then being chased, like you said, all these things can mean certain things. So if you have like aggressive, angry, like fucking, um, like
Instructors or teachers or like super
yeah,
or not supervisors. I don't know what you would call them. Yeah,
teachers' aides, whatever the
teacher.
heck they had back in the day, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, teachers. Yeah, fuck it. Just I don't even
Those
know.
little creepy alien things could be what your brain was perceiving in your dream state as your
What
teachers.
what really creeped me out was the fact that they had blank human faces on them, but on the like these weird stubby alien bodies with drum
Well,
sets.
yeah, that's what I mean.
It was
Maybe that was all your fucking teachers. Maybe that was just your
Every
teachers like
teacher
being
just
weird.
it was the weirdest. It was the weirdest
Yeah,
thing. It was the weirdest thing. Oh
and
man.
that's the scary thing. Like again, for a young child's mind to try and interpret that, like if it's something that you don't brush off right away, it could stick with you for quite a while.
Yeah, that's the
And
thing.
and with some of these type or most common dreams, they kind of fall into the like it blends in the difference between what a dream is, like what just a dream is, could be anything. Like some of the dreams that I can recall, I had one today that that makes absolutely no sense.
Oh
It
really?
just
You had it today or
yeah.
for
Yeah, I
like
haven't
your
had
2 hour nap.
yeah, pretty much.
oh.
It was basically me and my partner were in her room and I looked up and out the window and there were three cops outside. I was like, "Wait, what? Why are there cops outside?" And eventually, it leads to like I'll make it a long story short. Um, it eventually leads to me being investigated for hiding superheroes.
What?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, and the superheroes ended up being my partner, who the way I found out she was a superhero was that she had this pink patch of hair, like, randomly appear, and the thing that was the other superhero was this younger child. I don't know if it would have been, like, either a child to a teenager, and he had a blue strip of hair.
Wha-
And when we were being interrogated in this room, and they finally came into a room together, into the same room, I should say. Um, their hair started glowing, and then again, long story short, basically the world was after me for hiding superheroes.
Damn.
What's the meaning behind that, do you
Yeah,
think?
well, that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like, it's something that I remember waking up laughing because I was like, there was, I was being interrogated at one point. There was people that I knew that were outside the house when I went to see the cops that were looking at me like I was a bad person. Like, "Oh, he wouldn't do anything bad," and then they kinda look away like, "This fucking asshole, like, what a bad guy." And I'm so confused. I'm like, "What? I don't even know what's going on," and it turns out I'm harboring superheroes. So, like or what, yeah, so it's like, dreams besides these 12, these are the most common ones, obviously, or, like, at least, um, maybe not exactly the most common, but, you can you could put them together into some of these more common ideas.
Yeah,
Sorry, excuse me.
definitely.
And the other ones are dying. Dying is, if it's not just a dream, then it's a nightmare, and, nightmares are very common as well.
Speaking of which,
Um,
you know what I mean? So, um, yeah, yeah, right in front of me, I have the 15 most common types of 15 most common nightmares and what they really mean. So,
yeah,
uh, some of these on the list, Jay, might also be on the list that you just read off of.
okay.
So it might be a little bit of a similar list.
Mhm.
Some of them aren't though. So why do nightmare? So this article that I have by on puffy.com. It's a kind of a stupid name for a website, but anyway. Uh, I'm sorry. Um, so what are nightmares? It says here that nightmares are essentially a type of dream that elicit intense feelings of fear, anxiety, or distress. And the main difference between a nightmare and a bad dream is that nightmares cause you to wake up from sleep. Nightmares can be
Okay,
extremely unpleasant and may manifest in different ways. We can break down nightmares into three types. So recurring, fever dreams, and vivid dreams. Um, it also goes on to say, so like how, or sorry, why do they happen? Like, maybe you take some medication or supplements. You have a heavy meal before you went to sleep, or simply
yeah,
just sleep apnea. So I have here the first one is being chased, kind of similar to what. So yeah, like I said, also the same list that you read off of Jay, being chased
yeah, yeah.
is also teeth falling out, like you said before, uh, catching fire, getting shot at,
Jeez.
tornadoes, falling, drowning, um, being attacked. The image here is that this dude's being eaten by a shark. um,
Yeah, that'd be a
Damn.
nightmare.
that'd be a pain in the ass, or rather a
I thought
pain.
that was a dream.
Yeah. Well, this is a nightmare.
Damn.
Bug infestation, being naked in public, trapped in a dream, earthquakes, getting lost, being late, and hurricanes. So, yeah, there's I'm not sure. Actually, I think this could be considered a nightmare. So again, I apologize if it's just me talking about my experiences with dreams a lot, but um, I'm just trying to see whether the one that I'm about to describe falls under any of these categories. So what happened was, and again, this is when I was a child. I don't really have any nightmares anymore as an adult or a teenager. But what happened was I was sleeping in the same bed as my parents. I was I noticed it was completely dark, but I could sort of see in the dark. It was still dark, obviously.
Hmm.
And the door was cracked open, right? And it was completely pitch black through the door was slightly ajar, slightly cracked open, completely pitch black in the hallway. And I had such a hard time sleeping. I was like really really annoyed. Like, wow, what the hell's going on? I remember that as
Yeah.
well. There was this figure standing there. Think of it as like Nosferatu, but he was wearing like this weird looking tuxedo, and he had this really creepy face staring right at me.
Okay.
Just staring in the standing in the hallway, and I could see him through the cracked door. He's just kind of standing there in the door frame through the cracked door that's slightly cracked open. Uh, and he's just kind of staring at me. And
Yeah.
I know it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm so I think that's a nightmare because I remember being terrified when I woke up. But at the same time,
Well, yeah, I'd consider that.
I'm
I'd
trying.
consider that a
I'd be
nightmare for sure.
freaking terrified if I with that one.
Yeah.
So I guess that could fall under maybe being attacked. I think.
Well, it's even like you're like you might not be you might not be in the act of being attacked, but your mind is kind of like preparing you that oh, I'm about to get messed up here.
You know what it is? So I was very afraid of the dark when I was a kid.
Oh, me too.
And here being attacked, if you have a nightmare where you're being attacked or maybe you're being watched or stalked, so it says here that there are few things scarier than dreaming about being attacked by a stranger or animal. This dream can arise if you have an intense fear of a specific situation. In my case, I was afraid that I was not alone in the dark as a kid. It also says here the attacker in the dream could represent something in your life that you may be apprehensive of. In my case, again, I was so afraid of the dark. As a kid, I was always thinking that there's someone right next to me in the dark,
Hmm.
And then I guess that was
Well,
just a
you're
by
also vulnerable in the dark too.
yeah, and I guess that's a byproduct of my experience. And God, that's just so scary to think about. There's just
Oh
so
yeah, just some creeper fucking just like your door's just barely open and you can just see this person just staring. Like yeah, I'm picturing that right now. It's
I've been
not fun.
picturing that the whole entire time, and then I just
Yeah.
I turned off my light, right? So I just keep peering backwards, looking at my door.
Yeah,
it's
it's
it,
just it's not fun.
it was so creepy and so scary as a kid. It kind of creeps me out now as an adult. It's just
Oh, definitely.
but
Well,
it's I was just gonna say it's cool though. Your body does your mind is powerful. It does stuff
mhm.
for like as a kid or as an adult. It it makes you see things while you sleep, r- depending on what it is you're going through or how you're feeling or what you're afraid of. And I think that's just kind of cool how your mind works that way.
Yeah. Well, and especially at a young, again, keeping in the idea with the young age, since your mind is so there's so much going on, and almost every day you can almost experience something brand new as opposed to as you get older. You kind of settle into your role in life. You kind of settle into school, um, or at least the same friend groups and stuff like that as you get older. But when you're younger, every day you're learning something new. Every day you might run into somebody new. You might see something on TV um, that you haven't experienced before. So in a younger state of mind, your brain just it's always like trying to read and learn and take from all of these experiences. So, and that's the thing, if it's something bad that's going on, or even not even so much bad, but it's something in your life. Like I'm afraid of the dark
Yeah.
and something creepy out there. Like the dream can mean so many things at such a young age that again, being attacked is sounds about right. It's the fear of the dark is playing on your mind. Your mind's thinking it's being attacked because it's in the dark.
Yeah.
There's so much possibilities at such a young age. I remember one of the first again, the Power Ranger dream. I don't consider so much a nightmare, but you were explaining some of the more common things in nightmares, and being shot is one of them. One of my first memories, or sorry, one of my oldest memories of dreaming is um, the ending of it is me actually being shot. Um, but the dream played out um, where I used to live. Um, obviously, I had a next door neighbor. I had a bunch of family over at the house, and we're having this big like family get together as we usually did when we were like when I was younger. Um, and I remember being in the basement at my house, and then I remember things got started getting quieter and in this dream, and I took that as, I guess everybody's starting to go outside, it's getting late. Maybe that's what's going on. So I start walking through the house and I'm not seeing anybody.
Hmm.
And I'm starting to get confused. I'm like, where's everybody going? And I'm looking outside and it's really, really dark. And I'm like, what the okay. And I remember, but and it was weird because at such a young age, I started feeling lonely in this dream. Like I can't find anybody.
Yeah.
And then I walk outside and like the world is literally shrinking in. Like like darkness is just literally creeping in towards my house and my neighbor's house. And then I see like my some of my family members back inside. And I'm like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
I was just inside, no one's inside. But at the same time, it's like these walls are closing in on these two houses, like backyard, front yard. So I remember running into the. We used to have this porch that ran from the side door all the way to the backyard, and I start running out there. And I remember feeling when I started doing that, I remember feeling chased. So I started running around, and then I started hearing gunshots. And I was like, "What is going on?" And for like, again, keep in mind, I'm like 8 or 9,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure what's going on. Like, I don't know what really is going on there. And then I remember finally seeing people getting shot. It was very, very, like if the right word is vivid, people are getting shot. But I don't think they were my family members because I don't remember feeling that kind of like panic and fear and sadness of like, you might, you've seen family members getting shot.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
it's funny you say that because the way this website describes it as, or this article, it says this could indicate that you're struggling or dreaming about getting shot, or maybe seeing people get shot could also mean that you're fighting for survival in your day-to-day life. This could indicate that you're struggling to achieve your goals or are stuck in an uncomfortable situation. So I don't know if like what was going on outside the dream when you were 8 or 9 years old, if anything, that maybe could have caused this.
oh,
Um,
maybe. Well, the thing with that is, as that started to happen, I started to run away, obviously, because I don't want to get shot.
oh yeah,
But
no, I mean, who
while
would?
those,
Who would?
yeah, yeah, as those walls kept closing in, there was not really much room to run. So I remember running underneath my neighbor's porch, and it was very tall. Like for again, keeping in mind that I was very young at the time. Um, as an 8-year-old, that porch I could almost fully walk underneath and not really, not worry about my hitting my head too much.
Yeah.
But I remember being under there, and I remember turning around, and as I turned around, I just see a barrel, and I hear that loud bang. Um, I woke up to myself flying out of my bed.
Jesus.
Like literally, like I remember waking up and I shot like when you see like someone having a dream in a movie, like it doesn't even necessarily need to be a horror movie so much as just like it's a movie, like whatever.
Yeah.
And they shoot up and they're sitting there and they're sweating and they're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
I shot up so much that I actually rolled over my leg. Like I remember, yeah, like my face was where my feet were supposed to be. Like I remember it just fucked me up so much, and or it didn't fuck me up because I didn't really have like any trauma from it, but I just remember it being so fucking very vivid, just boom and like loud. It literally sounded like like that. It literally sounded like a shotgun 2 inches from my head, and I shot up and I almost fell off my bed. And
Jeez.
my I don't know if my mom would remember that because again, it happened. What? That's 20, 22 years ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, pretty much.
I I remember waking up and my mom and my stepdad at the time were sitting at the table in the kitchen or in the dining room, and my door was open and they were just sitting there doing whatever adults do at the table and at like 6 or 7 in the morning. Um, but yeah, that was one of that I consider a nightmare because it was just scary. The whole the whole running away from these loud gunshots, the world closing in on like this little piece of like my house, my neighbor's house, people disappearing and then again being shot. Like
Yeah.
I remember that dream quite well.
It's funny how we can remember these sort of dreams when we're kids, but at least from my experiences, even now I have trouble remembering any sort of dream that I have when I as a teenager or as an adult.
Yeah.
It's weird
Well,
like that. I guess it has to be a specific dream where it's just like what the fuck was that? God,
well,
do
I'm wondering is if we're getting as we get older, are we remember or is it easier for us to remember nightmares more than regular dreams because a regular dream is just nothing
yeah, that's
too
true. Yeah.
special or like I'm curious. But the other thing is like um people will have like night terrors. I've never had a night terror.
S-
Um
Yeah.
Dryden, have you ever had any night terrors or do you know much about them?
Um, night terrors wise, I got some information right over here about like what causes some night terrors.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because I
over
never
on
heard of it.
Healthline, the first part for what causes night terrors, it says night terrors are a type of sleep disorder that's more common in children than adults.
Okay.
When someone has a night terror, they wake up terrified, but may only have a vague idea of what they dreamed about. Most of the time, they don't remember the dreams or the night terror.
Mo
I
mo
might have had night terrors. I don't even know.
Most of the time, yeah. I'm pretty sure I think we all did at some point. But like you said, most of the time you don't remember them. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's odd.
Well, and that's
It is.
again, it's if it is more predominant in a young person or like a child's mind or whatever. Again, without the context of what is really happening around them, their brain is left to just interpret anything.
Anything.
If and it
Yeah.
could be again, it could be trauma, um, it could be fear of whatever is happening. Not so much like the trauma has occurred and you're kind of damaged from it, but like you're in the middle of a lot of stress as a young child again. Um, it could be just something you've seen and it could just play with you, or it could just be like a very bad situation at home or at
Mm.
school or wherever the case may be. Um, I like I said, I never really had uh, night terrors. Um, did it say what night terrors end up manifesting as?
No, night terrors is actually a sleep disorder. It's not a typical type of dream.
No, no,
Hmm.
I mean like does it come with
Uh, it, oh, for in night terrors, like to a person can wake up screaming, kicking, moving violently, jumping out of bed, sweating, breathing hard with a racing heart, or disoriented, unsure where they are or what's going on. Sounds like
Jesus?
concussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that'd be messed. Like maybe the little part of the dream that I had when I what I just explained because I remember jumping out of bed like almost flinging myself from the head of the bed to the foot of the bed. Maybe that was a terror. I just don't like hearing about this. Maybe that's what it
It's
was.
well, actually, we can see what the difference is. Right underneath it says, "What's the difference between a nightmare and a night terror?"
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
All right, so for night terrors are most commonly happen during non-REM sleep. You guys know what REM sleep is?
Yeah, that's essentially lucid dreaming, right?
So
Or
REM sleep is a kind of sleep that occurs. So basically, it's rapid eye movement for more dreaming and more
Yeah.
bodily movement. So like you're just moving around more.
so I was completely wrong.
Like
Yeah.
this is and what it says for REM sleep. Like this is an important cycle in your system for the areas of the brain that. So basically, it helps learning. It helps with remembering and learning, retaining
Uh,
memories.
okay. All
Okay.
right.
What
Uh,
stage is that again?
I think that's stage 2 or stage 3. I just got off the page. Uh, where is it?
I'll just re-Google it. There we go. Okay, so it's stage 4.
Okay.
Okay, stage 4.
I
There we
have
go.
so many tabs open.
That's good. Information is good.
Well,
Information's fantastic.
I was gonna say, I think some people, like Eddie, you said, is REM sleep part of lucid dreaming. The difference between REM sleep, sorry,
Lucid dreaming is it often happens during REM sleep.
yeah,
Oh, all
in
right.
REM sleep, your brain is extremely active. Your heart rate and eye movements are increased, or are also increased. Lucid dreaming, like most dreams, usually happen during REM sleep. In a lucid dream, you know that you are dreaming. You are aware of your awareness during the dream state. Those are the two differences, or that's the difference between REM and lucid.
Hmm.
Um, what are the lucid dreams and how do they affect you? What are lucid dreams? Lucid dreams are when you know that you are dreaming while you are asleep. You are aware that the events flashing through your brain aren't really happening, but the dream feels vivid and real. You may even be able to control the actions that unfold, as if you're directing a movie in your sleep.
Wow.
I've
Okay.
Yeah,
definitely had one of those.
yeah, which is interesting because getting away from night terrors, because I don't know if we're too experienced in that.
Oh no, we're not. I don't think we
No,
are, because like the only
no.
other two things, like it only happens really in children, and then nightmares versus night terrors. The only
Yeah.
difference is nightmares are recalled, where night terrors are easily forgotten. Like I don't think we got much on night terrors at all.
No,
I'm
I've
I'm
never.
assuming okay, so I'm assuming sleep paralysis doesn't fall in the same category as a nightmare or a night terror.
I
Maybe
think it would go under a night terror in a
because
Oh,
way.
if that's the case, then I've definitely had that.
because I've heard it described where uh you're in a lucid dreaming state, but you see but you're trying to wake up and you can't wake up because people often they see this scary demon just sitting on their.
Yeah,
Like
dog.
a
Yo, I've had
figure or
that.
something.
You've had that, Jay?
I've had that once. I've had that once when I was 14.
What did the creature look like if you remember it at all? Do you,
So basically, I'll paint the story because like the context, like there's something that happens more so in this experience that'll fuck you up. Like it fucked me up more than the actual occurrence of having sleep paralysis and having seen the figure.
uh-huh.
So when I was younger, me and my mom used to live in an apartment building. She worked graveyards, and I was obviously still at school. So this dream happened during the summer, or
Mm,
this experience happened during the summer. So she would leave, I think, around 1 a.m. I believe it was like 1:15, 1 a.m., 1:15. Um, and the thing with me was I didn't like my door being opened at all, like my bedroom door.
yeah.
So when she would leave, like all the lights are off, my door stayed closed till I woke up. Like I made sure to go to the bathroom before, I really like went to bed, obviously, but like I didn't want to be in the house or the apartment by myself too much, but it was part of just how everything had to work. Anyways, so one night she goes to work and I'm laying in bed. And the thing with sleep paralysis is it generally happens if you are sleeping on your back. You probably, if not, you most definitely will not have sleep paralysis if you're laying on your stomach, or if you're
Or
laying on
your
either side.
side. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you will not. It won't happen. It tends to happen just strictly on your back. So, and I'm very rarely a back sleeper.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
really know a lot of people who sleep, and I do from time to time if I'm just super tired and I don't feel like,
yeah,
just like on the couch. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
I
even. I sleep on a couch, and I can't even sleep on my back on the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's apparently better for you, but I don't do it too often. But
Can't do it.
that night I definitely did. So um, I was sleeping there, and I remember so I would always I've always had a TV on in my room. Again, so doors closed. I'm laying flat on my back in my room. My TV's on. I fall asleep, And then I remember waking up and everything was very hazy. Like the room looked like it was a haze. And I remember going to move, but like I'm like looking around. I'm like I can't move. But everything is like it's like almost being drunk, but only your body is. Your mind is completely sober, but your body is like when you're like really hammered. For a lack of a better
One
way
of
of saying it,
it
Yes,
one
was
of those good
sir.
it's
hammers.
it's one of those hammers, Jay.
Yeah, exactly.
Just one of those big old hammers.
Yeah, your body's not really keeping up with your mind. But again, that's how the room looks. You're not really able to move. If you're able to move, it's like maybe a pinky. Like you can move.
Mm.
So, anyways, so I'm just laying there and I'm freaking out because obviously, like I want to move. Like you're from the neck down. You cannot move. You're stuck. And what happened was the door to my room starts slowly creeping open. And I remember, like, in my mind, I'm trying to make sense of it. I'm like, my mom's probably still home. And then I was like, wait, no, like, she left like an hour ago. Like, she's not back home. Like, this is very weird. But again, I'm stuck. I can't move. Um, you're fighting as hard as you can because you're like, why is the door opening? Why can't I move? I need to move. I need to protect myself. And you can't. There's nothing you can do. So, as this is happening, the door continuously slides open.
Hmm.
And I'm like, why? Okay. And a figure pops in. And I'm freaking out. Like, you can't, but the thing is, you can't even talk. You can't talk. You can't scream. You can't even whimper. Like, you can't even, nothing happens. You're just stuck. And for me, so I think the top three things that people end up seeing are um, a gray alien, um, a
Jeez.
witch, and I can't remember the third one at this moment. But usually there's three, or
Uh,
it could just be a shadow.
you remember that red and black demon from the movie Insidious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I think that's because I've seen some artwork of like, oh, that's something similar to what that they see that because it's like a
I've
demon.
seen some too.
It's either an alien, a witch, or just a straight up demon.
See,
So
I've
yeah,
seen ones where it was like not like me personally having sleep paralysis or anything, but like pictures and whatnot of like just a black shadow with just eyes peering at the person.
that's also
well,
fucking terrifying.
so
So
it was basically that mixed in with like the reason why I would say a witch is because I remember like you remember the Wizard of Oz. She was green, but everything she wore was black.
the Wicked Witch of the
Yes,
whoever, what's it?
I
Yeah.
think it's the
Yeah,
West,
yeah.
West or
Whoever
East.
whoever the main character is besides Dorothy and the three people.
Potato, potato. You know what I
I
mean?
Yeah.
mean, the other
So
one's the other witch, isn't it? This isn't it both witches and Dorothy are the main protagonists?
The green
I don't.
face. Yeah, the green face.
Yeah, she had
So
a green face, but everything she wore was black. So she wore a black dress, a black hat, and she had a broom. The reason why I think it's a witch is because the outline of this thing was very much pointy hat,
like a witch. Yeah, yeah.
broomstick. Yeah, like I remember a broomstick. So basically, as this thing is coming into my room and floating over me or floating towards me, again, you're stuck. You don't have a say in any of this. Your hands can't move. Your arms can't move. Your body can't move.
Yep.
You're done. So as you're pretty much kind of realizing that you can't move, this thing is starting to move towards you.
Yeah.
And how it basically ends up happening is it floats from my door across to my closet. And this thing isn't like it's not like a small little shadow. This thing is like it looks like it's sized. Like it looks like it's like a human size. And it's just floating there. And then it starts floating and it comes around me. And as it's coming around me, I can slowly maybe start to feel my foot move a little bit. But that's all. Like you don't
Yeah.
it's not like I have this like miraculous like my body's fixed. I'm able to get up and I'm able to move. Maybe my foot can move, and that's all I get. So basically, as I'm realizing it's pretty much done for, and keep in mind, you don't feel like you're dreaming at all. Like when this is happening, you don't interpret this as, oh, I'm just dreaming. You think this is real. Like
Yeah.
everything feels real. Everything sounds real. Everything smells real. Everything, like, if there was a way to taste in that moment, it would taste real.
And
Um,
that's what makes it all the more terrifying, you know?
exactly. And there's no control. So this thing starts floating above me, and it starts floating above to where it's pretty much eye level with me, but maybe 2 feet above my body as I'm in bed. And as that's happening, like, again, you might slowly be able to get any semblance of feel back, but it's not coming. Like, you're just not gonna get anything. Um, and so basically all it did was, like, it just stood, like, it stayed there levitating over me, and then it slowly moved its way down. And as it made its way down, I remember, like, it was like almost like fainting, or like passing out in that sense. Like, where you're like, yeah, pretty much those two things. Um, and then I remember it happened, and then I kind of like just remember my eyes opening again, but I wake up to not having feeling again. So I'm like, what is happening? But the thing is, this time I'm able to fight to get feeling. I'm able to, like, I'm like, okay, like, my foot, I remember it moving. Okay, no, I can start moving my legs a bit. Okay, I'm fighting, and then I'm literally like trying to punch my way to being able to move. So the catch to this experience, the thing that makes it, and I remember it doesn't play with my mind at all anymore. It used to. The thing that really plays with my mind is when the paralysis left, the door was open.
Whoa, okay.
That's kind of fucked.
The door to my room was open. That's what fucked with me the most for like a while.
And dude, this is kind of delving into like this is like ghosts and like
Yeah.
paranormal activity.
Well, and that's the thing. Some people with these sleep paralysis episodes would swear that it wasn't sleep paralysis. It was swear they would swear like
That it was
these
real.
things were accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't have the answer to that, because that's the only time it's ever happened to me, where like that was like, if that's a night terror mixed with sleep paralysis, that's what that is. And but the unexplained is why when I woke up and I got all the feeling back into my body, and I was able to, like, kind of like, I was coherent and everything. And the thing was, my TV was still on. um, all the lights in the hallway were closed. My front door was, because after that I got up and I was like in a panic. So I go out thinking maybe, hey, like, my mom is home, hopefully, or something.
Yeah.
And I turn the lights off. Sorry, I turn the lights on in the hallway after I turn my bedroom light on. And I look at, it's dark in the kitchen. It's dark in the hallway, obviously. So I turn the kitchen light on. No one's there. We only have a 1 floor apartment. The door is locked. No one's home. It's just me. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what to make of any of this. So
That's fucked up, man.
yeah,
That's actually
yeah,
that's really scary.
yeah. And again, I don't know what it means. I don't know if it was just all of that, if it was just purely um experience into like something really scary, or if it was just, maybe my door slipped open somehow and never did, because it was a door, like, unless the knob is turned and you pull it, like, there's no drafts in there. There was nothing like that. So that was my, if sleep paralysis is part of night terror, that's what I had.
Mm, okay.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I guess that would fall into the category of night terror. Well, then again,
Uh,
well
I
that
I found a thing that just I googled again, guys. Don't worry.
Perfect.
So night terrors comes out of a slow wave of sleep that occurs early parts of the night. This deep sleep makes the effect of a child difficult to arouse. What?
What?
Huh? I don't
s-
think this is the right thing. Night terrors
no,
come out of slow wave sleep that occurs in early parts of the night. This is deep sleep that affects children. Yeah, difficult to arouse in sleep
I
paralysis,
don't.
which is often occurs in the morning.
I
Okay,
don't.
so sleep paralysis in the morning, and then night terrors are in the like basically evening.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. When you said
Uh,
arouse, I was like, okay, not that kind of arouse. It's
No, I think it. I don't think it's not
it's
that kind
not
of
that. It's
aroused.
not that. It's not that. Okay.
No,
I was
no.
like, oh my god,
It
no.
caught me off guard too because I read that and I was like, wait a minute.
Okay.
What?
Okay. So that's how it is. That how that is it? Is that's how it happens then? With
What
there.
it's saying. So on Very Well Health, that's
Very.
what it's described. Yeah, this is another health site.
Okay. Okay. That makes
And
sense.
then, so sleep paralysis on the list beneath it, it's got seen in adolescents and adults, is remembered upon awakening, happening in near in the morning, quiet and still while happening, easy to awaken, weird, may occur with narcolepsy, hmm.
Oh, okay.
Prevent by triggering that disrupts sleep. Oh, okay. So just don't
Is
be
it nar
interrupted in your rest.
isn't narcolepsy where you just spot like you just start sleeping out of nowhere? Like you could be going for a run and then you just fall over and sleep and then you wake up 2 seconds later. Is that what being a narcoleptic is? I think that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's what it is. I looked it up, and what you said seemed like looks exactly what you said, basically.
Oh, I saw a video of a girl doing a stretch, and she repeatedly just kept on like falling over and sleeping and then getting back up, and it was the creepiest thing I've ever seen. Like being a narcoleptic must suck. Like,
Sounds horrible, but awesome because like I'm the opposite. I can't sleep, so that just sounds great.
oh, but if you're in the middle of working out and you fuck, well, you don't want to like if you're doing squats, Dryden, you don't want to. I guess.
Yeah, no, 100%. Let alone bench press or like
Yeah. Oh, you're dead.
anything.
Yeah, you'd be dead.
Oh,
That's a topic for another episode, I guess, though. So.
oh.
I found this thing. What are the symptoms of sleep paralysis? The fundamental symptom of sleep paralysis is atonia, or the inability to move the body. It occurs shortly after falling asleep or waking. And during an episode, a person feels awake and is aware of this loss of muscle control. An estimated 75% of sleep paralysis episodes involve hallucinations that are distinct from typical dreams.
Mm.
So exactly how I was explaining it, there was no part of me that thought this was a dream. I had the hallucination of the witch slash, if you want to go with demon part. But I also ended up with a door that was not wide open, but it was very much open.
Yeah.
And when I went to sleep originally, it very much was not open.
Okay.
Um, the other thing is, or sorry, the other experience, I didn't have the hallucination the second time, but there has been other times where I have maybe once or twice that I can remember where I've had the paralysis part, um, but I was somehow able to fight it off. I remember I think I was at my uncle's house and I was sleeping downstairs on the couch for the night, and I remember waking up and I couldn't move anything. And the thing was, I already like this might be a topic for another episode. Um, I always believed that that basement was haunted, to begin with. So when I knew that was experiencing sleep paralysis, the last thing that I wanted was a hallucination or an experience in a place that I thought was haunted.
and
So
and and the basement was one of those things.
it
So
was exactly the place. So I literally like I don't know what the difference. I might have not been in enough of a sleep-like state to have experienced the hallucinations or to be able to fight off the paralysis. But like I literally like I fought. I remember like I put everything into that experience to not have like I don't know what the difference was, but yeah, I got out of it I fought for that because I was like, again,
yeah.
I did not want it to be I did not want to have an experience in that basement. And there's the reason why I thought it was haunted, again, there's an actual explanation for why I thought it was haunted, and it might make complete sense as to why I felt that way. But again, that might be a topic for a different episode.
Yeah, I think
Um,
I think one of our episodes is we're going to be talking about paranormal. I think we're going to be talking about the supernatural stuff. I think I don't know.
oh, I'll do it. I got
Well,
stories for days, baby.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
Um,
But
but
yeah.
again, going back to paralysis and everything like that, or actually, um, the I think we had lucid before that because we were talking about REM sleep and lucid dreaming. Um, again, to touch back on what a lucid dream is. What are lucid dreams? Lucid dreams are when you know that you are dreaming while you are sleeping. You're aware that these events flashing through your brain aren't really happening, but the dreams feel vivid and real. You may be even able to control how the actions unfold, as if you were directing a movie in your sleep. The thing that I'm curious about is what parts of your brain act when you are lucid dreaming and what parts of your brain are acting when you are in sleep paralysis. Because if a lucid dream, um, well, like it says, your brain, you are aware that the events that are flashing through your brain aren't really happening, but the dreams feel vivid and real. I'm curious if sleep paralysis and lucid, the function in the brain is similar because when you're when you have sleep paralysis, you feel like everything is happening. You're awake, but you can't move.
Mm,
Like, do you know what I'm saying?
I think so.
Yeah, like, cause
I do. I get it.
yeah. So I'm curious if those two play with each other at all, or play in the same um, aspects. Because there's been dreams where, like, I think Dryden, you said you were a superhero in one of them before
Yeah,
we
when
were.
I was like a little kid, I had a dream where I was basically like, I just, I was a big fan of superheroes and crap, right? Still
Yeah,
am. So like
yeah,
as a kid, always wanted to be like Superman, right? Fly around, jump off buildings, land on your feet, superhero landing. You know, the cool
hell yeah.
things.
Yeah.
So like I had a lucid dream. I don't know how like I made it happen, but as a kid, I'd always like periodically when I'd get dreams, I'd create them into lucid dreams or like somehow push like to create some sort of like I knew I was in a dream kind of
Yeah.
aspect into it. But one of
Like,
them I became a superhero and I just destroyed the whole fucking city. I was a superhero though. But like the
you
big
just
battle, the big battle, I don't know what happened in the battle. All I remember is I fought someone and then the city was like okay damage and then I just was like screw it and just killed everything. I was just gave up.
so you became the villain.
Yeah, I became the hero to the villain. But the moral of the story is I was a hero.
Yeah.
I bet. Well, there you go. And I think I've had that. I was literally Spider-Man in high school at one point in my dream where I was fucking just slinging webs and swinging around and yo, what's good? I'm Spider-Man. Like literally, I was in control of everything. I remember the second that I realized that I had control, I just went nuts. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm swinging from rooftops." I'm like, "Yo, girls, what's up? I'm
I
Spider-Man," and then
I
they ignored me. Like, like how high school went.
That's not true at all. I'm not going to get into the details, but I know
Yeah.
that's not true. But
You're bringing up memories.
I can't. I don't think I've ever had that experience where I was in control of my own dream or lucid dream, and I'm dying.
There's
I'm
ways to do it.
There are
There's
ways to.
techniques and
I
stuff.
know, but it's like, oh, like wake up every 10 minutes and then start writing shit down and then go back to sleep. I don't want to do
I don't even
that.
know if that's a thing. I've never heard of that one.
Is there like a pill I can take? I'm just
Dude,
kidding. I'm just kidding.
I was a kid and somehow made them. I don't. There's got to be an easier way than write it down.
Yeah, I
There's
think so.
there's a lot of methods I know. I don't know. We're over hour and 8 minutes now, so if we
Okay, boys. Well, how about this? To anybody that's listening, if you guys have ever experienced any kind of lucid dreams or sleep paralysis, um, send us a message or write down in the comments below. Same thing with nightmares. If you could still remember the worst nightmare, well, obviously if it's the worst nightmare that you've ever had, if you want to share with us again in the comments below or send us a message. Or your favorite dreams, if you can remember your favorite dreams growing up into your adulthood, if you've made it that far yet. Again, send us a message. Comments below. If you want to send us a message, Dryden, let them know where they can find you.
You can find my Instagram. It has every other area for like my Twitch and TikTok and everything. If you want to go find any information about me, just head over to Dryden, DrydenXOuimet, and you'll get anything about me. New updates on the stream, my fitness, anything you need.
Perfect. Eddie, same thing. Where could they find you or anything that you are doing currently?
So, and again, all our contact information will be in the description of the video. For me, I have a Twitch and I have two YouTube channels. My Twitch is twitch.tv/mask, M-A-S-K 9691. I stream fairly regularly there. I also have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/mask animations, where I make a bunch of my own animated short films that I record and edit and upload myself. And my second channel is the which will be a link for that. It's called Lord Ed the Mighty, which is it's just a dump of videos that I edit, stream highlights, gameplay videos, other just edits that I like to make and upload on that channel. Um, yeah, if you have a question, you can just leave a comment on or yeah, you could just add me on Twitch or message me on Twitch, and yeah, those are the three platforms you can find me at. Which again, like I said before, all our contact information is going to be in the description of this video. So Jay,
Yeah, my stuff will be down below as well. My Instagram handle is KingKitty84. Don't ask about the name. Doesn't matter. Um,
are you the
So
king?
what,
yeah.
what what's up about the name?
Are you the
Oh,
king? Are you the king kitten?
no, I'm the kitten of kings.
What?
So are you the best of the kittens to become a
Yes.
king, or are you the king of the best of the kittens?
I don't.
The first one.
The fuck are you talking? Anyway.
Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Again, if you guys have had any cool dreams, scary nightmares, sleep paralysis like I have had, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody that's ever had sleep paralysis or the experience that I've had. So if anybody is listening out there that has had that, send me a message, send us a message about it or any cool lucid dream stories. I know that we didn't really talk about night terrors too much, but if anybody's had an experience or is willing to, I guess, educate us in that, let us know.
I'd
Again,
love
you
to
can,
know more.
yeah, yeah, me too. Um, again,
Yeah, yeah.
all of our information is down below in the description, and again, if there's any topics you'd like us to cover, want to hear about, uh, same thing. Send us a message.
Hmm.
That's it for this week, guys. Thanks so much for listening. I can't believe we actually have had the amount of listens we've had already. That's kind of crazy, but yeah. Thanks again. We'll catch you next week. Thanks, guys.